What's up guys, DK here with Collector's Impact, and today we are going to go over the Obnoxious 9 cards from the MetaZoo Cryptid Nation base set. So a little bit of background on these before we jump in and actually, go through each card one by one. The reason that they are called the Obnoxious 9, which honestly I find that name a little bit misleading, but we'll get into that in a second. But the reason that they're called the Obnoxious 9 is due to their rarity with inside the actual expansion being kind of obnoxious. And the cards themselves are obnoxious in ways, but it's mostly due to the rarity. The cards are only available as holo rares, so they're not available as reverse holos, which means that their rarity is roughly 3 times that of any standard like rare in the set. And I mean that because you can get a holo version of, let's just use Bigfoot for example. You can get a holo version of that or a reverse holo, and it's a rare card. So the reverse holo rares are twice as likely to get as a holo rare. So therefore, 1 and the 2 equals 3. You're 3 times more likely to get a Bigfoot card in general than you are to get, one of the Obnoxious 9. Does that make sense? Because it's only available in the holo form. So it's a 3x differentiator there on the rarity. And they're only available in booster packs, so they're not in decks or anything like that, at least at this moment. Now my little commentary on the name being kind of misleading is that it's an obvious play on the Power 9 from Magic the Gathering, and the Power 9 got that name because they are just ridiculously powerful in the context of the game as a whole. Whereas the Obnoxious 9, it's such a new game, we don't know yet. Are they going to make like an Obnoxious 9 for every expansion where there's 9 rares in each one that are only available in holo and not regular? And what does that do to the original Obnoxious 9? I don't know. Is this a name that was come up with by the community? I don't know. Either way, it is fun. It's kind of fun. I'm not knocking on it or anything. I'm just saying it's kind of it's a little too early, guys, to be attributing like power level 9. You know what I mean? Over 9,000. And speaking of the Magic the Gathering Power 9, this card right here, the Chaos Crystal, is actually not a member of the Obnoxious 9 because you can get it in reverse holo as well. But it is more of a power card, if you ask me, just because it's basically a form of Black Lotus, which Black Lotus is the creme de la creme, the king, the big daddy of the Power 9 from Magic. And this card does almost the same thing. The thing is, it comes into play fatigued, because everything that isn't an aura or a Terra comes into play fatigued, so you don't get to use it the turn that it comes out, I guess, unless you have something that can unfatigue it right away. But it doesn't sacrifice. It actually, you can use it every turn and get 3 aura of any type, assuming that they don't take it out, because it only has 25 hit points. So they could take it out pretty easy, I guess. But yeah, you get the point. It's a Black Lotus almost. Alright, so with all that out of the way, boom, here are the Obnoxious 9, and we're going to go through each of these one by one. So the Obnoxious 9 consists of 4 spell cards, 2 artifact cards, 2 beastie cards, and 1 pretty unique caster card. So the first card here is Death Beam. It's a darkness spell, limited to 4 per spell book, costs 3. Target beastie is destroyed. Place the destroyed beastie into the afterlife instead of limbo or the cemetery, so it's removed from the game. After resolving this page, you can no longer contract light cards, light pages for the rest of the game. So if you're not running light, doesn't matter anyway, and it's basically like a Swords to Plowshare, or whatever you want to say. It's basically like a card that removes a creature from the game for 3 mana. It just straight up takes it out, no problem. Next up is Growth. You're only allowed to use 1 of these per spell book, and it is of course a green card, a forest card. If there's a plant within arm's reach of the arena, bookmark 5 pages from the top of your spell book. Really sick. It's like Ancestral Recall on steroids. It's so instead of drawing 3 cards, you get to draw 5 cards for 2 aura. Overall, it's really disgusting. That's for sure. If you're playing green, and especially if you can carry a little succulent plant or a cactus or something with you, boom. Next up is Phoenix Rain. 2 of these are allowed in a spellbook, costs 3 fire. It's a spell that deals 100 damage to all casters. And all non-fire beasties and non-water beasties in the arena are inflicted with burn. So it doesn't destroy all the creatures, but it does do it to all casters. So that actually would hit like one of the other Obnoxious 9 cards here, in addition to you guys as the players. All right, next up is Power Up Red. It is a colorless spell, limited to 1 per spellbook, costs 3 aura to cast. So it's probably going to be a pretty decent staple card, as it can fit in any deck, really. Place Power Up Red under target beastie. While Power Up Red is under a beastie, the beastie it is under loses and cannot gain immortality. It gains plus 100 life points, and its attacks gain plus 100 damage. If the beastie Power Up Red is under would leave the arena, place Power Up Red in the cemetery. You can't put it on an immortal creature, so that's cool. At least they thought of that. But yeah, it gives it plus 100 essentially, and that is disgusting. Plus 100 damage to the attack for only 3. That's a really good card. Up next, we have Ghost Train, and this one right here wins the award so far for the most foily card because the artwork itself is transparent, so therefore the entire freaking artwork is foil. So that's just a fun little bit of trivia there. But the Ghost Train, limited to 1 per spell book, and this has a doozy of a text box. Whenever a beastie or beasties you control would be placed into the afterlife, you may make train sounds, chugga chugga choo choo, and place that beastie or beasties face up under the Ghost Train. You may fatigue this page at any time to choose 1 face up beastie under the Ghost Train and place it into the arena awakened and under your control. The chosen beastie is now a ghost beastie instead of its original aura. Place the chosen beastie into your cemetery, or I guess it's spirit, ghost, whatever, at the end of the turn. When the Ghost Train leaves the arena, place all face-up pages under it into the afterlife. Any face-up pages underneath Ghost Train are not considered to be in the arena and cannot be selected as a target. Yeah, so that's definitely, it basically just collects the deceased monsters, and you can bring them back to life one by one and utilize them one final time before their descent into the afterlife. Pretty cool card. Little bit powerful, that's for sure. Next is the artifact Silver Bullet. You're allowed to use up to 10 of these per spellbook, so that's kind of amazing. That's probably going to have an effect on its value, I would assume. It only costs 1 light aura to cast. It only has 10 LP though, so pretty easy to get rid of. You can only contract this artifact if you control a non-dark beastie. You may fatigue and place Silver Bullet into the afterlife to choose an effect. 1. Place a dark beastie or a spirit beastie into the afterlife, or 2, fatigue target beastie. So basically with this card, I mean, if you're playing against those 2 types, it's automatically good, or if you have a card that can change the type of your opponent's beasties, you can utilize that and basically have a bunch of silver bullets that can take out their monsters. Next up is Chessie. It's Chessie instead of Nessie because it's from the Chesapeake Bay. This is a beastie that's limited to 4 per spellbook. When Chessie enters the arena, bookmark a page from the top of your spellbook so you get to draw a card. Drowning Kelp. Drowning Kelp gains plus 10 damage for every other water card in the arena. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And here's one of the most random ones, if you ask me. Uncle Sam, getting patriotic up in here. It's a very, very random card. Uncle Sam riding on a giant snail. Yeah, I mean, is that supposed to be like the Postal Service or what? I don't know. This is great. So he costs 5. He's colorless, so I guess you could use it in any deck. This beastie enters the arena awakened and gains unblockable. Wow. When contracted, if there are any American flags within eyesight. So if you have a flag, just pull one up on your phone, I guess, if that counts. I don't know. It's ambiguous. Then he is unfreaking blockable. Damn, that's good. Liberty Smash 20x. Liberty Smash's damage equals 20x the number of American citizen casters in this game. So if you're playing in the U.S., it's most likely going to be however many people are in your game. More than likely. That's really cool. Pretty overpowered card there. It just says that it gains unblockable like forever, as long as there's a flag within eyesight. So keep one of the little toothpick ones in your pocket. And the last card is Sam Sinclair. So as far as I'm aware, he's like the main character in the series so far. He's kind of like Ash Ketchum or whatever from Pokemon. This card is actually a caster and not a beastie, so that's pretty unique. And when Sam Sinclair is in the arena, any pages with Sam's in the name may be contracted without paying its aura cost. So anything that belongs to Sam, you get it for free. Pretty good. Power of Investigate. I really like this. Choose one of the following effects. 1. Reveal a face-down trap card and then return it to the original position. Do not resolve its effects, so you get to see what the heck you're dealing with. Or 2. Reveal a page of your choice from target player's hand and then shuffle that chosen page into their spellbook. Pretty good. It's like a super duress. It's really good. Holy Shot of 40 Darkness there. Really, really sick card. Love this one. Well, guys, that wraps up the video for today. I hope that you enjoyed this little presentation of the Obnoxious 9 cards from MetaZoo, along with the one bonus one here, the Chaos Crystal. That is a highly recommended one for anyone who's interested in playing the game, at least in my opinion. Settle for the reverse foil if you need to. It's great. Anyway, if you liked this video, definitely be sure to give it a nice thumbs up, as it greatly helps with the algorithms and everything. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, whether it be on MetaZoo, Pokemon, Magic, Marvel, DC, or any number of other collectible cards, definitely subscribe to the Collector's Impact and be one of those collectors out there that makes an impact in this crazy world of collecting, trading, flipping, and insanity. Thanks again for coming by, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care.